I find it deeply troubling, and I think it's quite insidious.
Yeah, that's the reaction tonight to what some are calling a shadow police force in downtown Nashville. Good evening. I'm Lauren Lowry.
And I'm Tracy Cornett. It is all tied into our chief investigative reporter, Jeremy Finley's thin, blurred line reporting. Now, Jeremy, it's important to say who these police aren't.
Yeah, that's right, Tracy. They are not Metro Police. They are not sheriff's deputies, and they're certainly not security guards driving unmarked cars like this. But a WSMV4 investigation found they have made hundreds of arrests of homeless people in this area of downtown Nashville, using unmarked cars like we just showed you to take them to jail. A member of this off-duty police detail is coming forward tonight, saying their directive from their bosses is clear: remove the homeless to improve the city's image. It's Friday, May 9th, and you're about to see how a whistleblower says homeless are being secretly cleared out of downtown Nashville, arrested and jailed, but not by Metro Police.
I find it deeply troubling, and I think it's quite insidious.
WSMV4 Investigates watched as Michael Lambert, a homeless man sitting on Lower Broadway, suddenly stood up when this man in a yellow shirt identifying him as a downtown ambassador came to talk to him. What did he say to you?
They told me I couldn't sit. You got to stand up.
You can see Lambert quickly did it because he knows what happens if he doesn't. In this 2023 affidavit, Lambert was doing the same thing, found to be obstructing a temporary access passageway, found sitting on the sidewalk with an open container of alcohol. He was placed under arrest, but not by Metro Police. Instead, by a state trooper using unmarked cars like this one, part of what this whistleblower describes as a secretive unit often summoned by downtown ambassadors with one clear directive.
Our job is to police the homeless community.
This whistleblower should know he's one of the state troopers working the unit.
Profiling is what it is.
The troopers, they want to with you.
Did you ever think it was strange that state troopers were down here?
Always. I mean, they should be out on the interstate.
Of all the divisions the THP displays on its website, there is no mention of patrolling downtown Nashville. Here's where the trooper says the lines get blurred. He says while they are in uniform working for the unit, they aren't working for the state. They're being paid for part-time work with private dollars by the downtown partnership through a contract with the security company Solaren, which is at the center of our thin blurred line investigation. Paid not to be security, but to be police. But wait a minute, you may be asking, why would private businesses even need a police force if Metro Police has their own precinct on Lower Broadway? This trooper says the businesses who are part of the downtown partnership are frustrated, saying Metro Police isn't focused on the homeless.
These companies were fed up with that, and so they were paying Solaren to pay us to police downtown Nashville.
This trooper says almost immediately he started regretting working part-time for the unit. Photos like these, taken by the troopers, were being passed around to show how homeless could be removed from Lower Broadway simply for sitting or holding signs.
If his arms are out wide and he's holding a cardboard sign out, he's blocking people from walking, right? And so they would say, so you can arrest him. Let's say that you had an attractive woman sitting on the sidewalk, you were to leave them alone and only deal with the homeless people. We're not to do it to the tourists because they're the ones that are bringing in revenue.
WSMV4 Investigates found troopers made 337 arrests over a 2-year period of people taken into custody on charges like public intoxication or obstruction of a passageway. Of those 337, the majority, 209, listed their addresses as homeless or at a homeless shelter. And we found many of the charges from the troopers' arrests were dismissed. In Lambert's case, the DA's office nollied the charge, meaning they decided not to prosecute.
I just think it's so cruel and so dehumanizing.
Allie Wallace is the executive director of Open Table Nashville, a homeless advocacy group.
How many people that this little shadow police force is arresting, how many of them are getting the services they need, the resources they need to not be back out on the streets again?
There will be people that will see this story and they will say,
listen, I don't have a problem with them removing homeless from downtown. It actually makes it look better. What would you say to them?
I don't think it looks good for our city to penalize people for having nowhere else to go.
They might be off-putting to have them downtown, but they're humans also, and they have the same rights as everybody else, just because they don't have a home and they don't have money.
For weeks, WSMV4 Investigates asked for interviews with the THP, the Downtown Partnership, and the CEO of Solaren, Jack Bird. Bird referenced our questions to the THP and the Downtown Partnership. Neither of them would do an interview. The Nashville Downtown Partnership sent a statement reading, "Officers do not profile or target individuals," saying the role of the THP with the partnership in the last year and 4 months of 2025 made 94,000 interactions with the homeless, with 6,000 accepting offers for services. We asked to review their data, but they did not provide it. After being arrested by a trooper for refusing to move, Lambert is now right back on Lower Broadway. But as we witnessed, much more cautious now about being defiant.
You know, I'll respect your wishes and I'll get up, but I got to get up in my own time. I got a busted knee.
Wow, Jeremy, I think a lot of us didn't even know that private entities can hire police, not to be security, but to be their own police force.
Lauren, in Tennessee, you can. It's called a proprietary security organization. You have to apply for it through the state, but if you're approved, you can hire police officers to act as employees for your private organization, and they have full police powers. As of tonight, there has still been no response to our findings from the THP.